Alright guys, hi, it's Lay again. I'm going to show you guys the remaining screens, the statistics, modules and settings. The statistics screen gives you a short overview of how many cheaters were on your server on the top left. Then right next to it, we can see how many players were on your server and they didn't cheat. Then if we go further to the right, we can see the percentage of players who cheated on your server, and on the top right we can see what the most common cheat was that the player used. Or well, more specifically, this is not the cheat, but it's the detection which triggered for the cheat. So if someone, for example, is using an aimbot, no matter whether they're using maphack or flaphack or faphack or cephack, you just see aimbot and then the specific name of that detection here. On the bottom left, we can see the infractions per month. This basically gives you an overview of how many players were banned in each month. And on the bottom right, we can see the bans by infraction, which just shows us which detections were triggered for what kind of players. Next up, I'm going to show you guys the modules page. The modules allows you to turn on and off several modules to your liking. If you, for example, decide that you don't want to check for bind mismatching, then you can disable that detection and then it's turned off. You don't need to do more, it's off. You can also enable detections and you can adjust them to your liking. To adjust them, you can either use the wrench and use reset module or any of the other features here, or you can click on them. If you click on them, you can adjust the specific detection settings, but in this case, this detection is one which doesn't have any specific settings, which is why we can't adjust anything more here. Alright, and the last screen I'd like to show you guys is the settings screen. The settings screen allows us to adjust several general features, punishments features, logging features, and sentry features. Now, of course, you might ask, what is that? So, the first thing we see here is the false detection scanner, which just allows us to say whether the anti-cheat should try to scan for false detections. This might happen if you have an add-on conflict, for example, such as you have an aimbot gun and the anti-cheat bans people for using an aimbot, which is technically correct, but since your server setup actually enables it, it may cause false detections, and the anti-cheat tries to scan for that. You can adjust it. For example, if we click here, we can say that maybe we don't want the false detection scanner to kick in at 10 players, maybe we want it to do so at 11 players, so we just write 11, press OK, and it's changed. Currently, the settings are very simple. This one is one which might interest you more. We can change the message which is shown to cheaters. This message is shown whenever a cheater is being kicked or banned from your server, and by default it's just no cheaters allowed. But you can change it to whatever you like. You can also change the delay before punishment, even though I recommend leaving it at default. In general, I always recommend don't change shit if you don't know what you're doing. If you change shit without knowing what you're doing, you're just fucking up shit. So, yeah. Then we also have the logging. This is just useful if you want to see whether the anti-cheat is loading properly. But I only recommend to enable it if a guy in the support ticket tells you to. And the last settings currently are the sentry settings, and these settings here are where you, for example, set up your Discord integration and can enable or disable your Discord integration. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this short little preview of the statistics, the modules, and the settings screen, and see you next time.